everybody? Welcome back to Nfitmosos with my boy Salo, and then Jose, also known as Tank, and then myself, Nike. Today's topic is, where are the masculine male role models? You know, in households, I don't believe they're there anymore. I feel like they're very far and few between. And I know this topic's gonna get some fingers pointed and some comments said, and probably some hate and some love. But you know, our whole thing here is just be honest on what our opinions are. Hey, share yours in the comments. Even if if you don't like mine, or you don't like Salo's, you don't like Jose's, share it in the comments. You know, I mean, it ain't gonna hurt our feelings, and we might hurt yours. But the whole point of this is that we don't be sensitive about it, and we take it on the chin and we keep moving. So I just want to start off with I don't see in households today the male as a safety figure in a role. He's not the leader of the house anymore. And I'm not saying that in a sexist way. I'm saying that in general, not just in general. In my opinion, you as a male, and a masculine one, and not just a masculine one, a strong one, you need to be control of your house. You know, you shouldn't be in a financial bind, and you shouldn't be in the hole, and your kids should mind. You know, you shouldn't have problems with your wife. You shouldn't have situations in doubt there. You know, you should be pretty strong and firm in your role in your home. At any point, if you're thinking, hey, you know, you're obviously not in control. If your old lady's going out every night and you're all married, and she doesn't tell you what time she's coming home, and she's going out without you all the time, that's an issue. Or your kids don't listen to you, and they just go above you, or they just completely ignore you. You know, that's an issue. You need to be that. You need, as the man in that house, as the father, even if you're a stepdad, you need to step up and be that role, because obviously the other guy wasn't doing it. And you were put in that spot now. So step up and play that role. Be the strong male figure in the home. What do you guys think?
All right. For me, or do you want to go first, Tank?
Go ahead.
All right. I think we should define what a man is, and then go from there. Because, you know, we have a lot of definitions of what a man is, what a man isn't. And so who wants to go first on that? And then we can expand.
Well, I think this is going to be interesting, okay? Because I feel like everyone's going to have a different definition of what a man should be, right?
Correct.
Ideally, I think what we agree, I think we agree there that they need to be very strong-willed, determined, and I was thinking about this. So my idea, I always thought, you know, being fit and strong and everything is very manly, and I still think it is.
It is.
But I also think that when I look back at some of these, I watched some videos, some TikToks today of some old guys from Vietnam.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't very big or strong or nothing, but man, those were some hard dudes. They had the will and determination, you know, that made them that way. And I can respect that too, but we don't have that will and determination anymore.
Yeah, well, just on that, I don't think you need to be big. I think you need to be fit, which is completely different.
I like that.
You don't have to be. Yeah. Let's stick with that.
You have to be what?
Well, I was gonna go a different route, but we can save that.
Where are you going?
I was gonna say, you don't need to be all jacked, juiced up, roided up. That's not what I would say. The definition of a man is. I think if you're just fit, whatever that may be for you, in a way where you're able to, well, you're training first and foremost.
Just training.
You can, you can. And this might get a little controversial in the sense where I believe if you can't pull your own weight, then maybe you need to work on that. So like if you can't do pull-ups, it can't do chin-ups, you can't, I don't know, I would say deadlift, but I mean, that was last episode. You're not a man in a sense where you got to be able to pull your own weight in that regards. So much so that you're able to also carry maybe your family, you know, if that makes sense. Not physically carry them, but just be strong enough for yourself and everybody else. Because if you can't do those things, then how are you going to be strong?
Just don't be the weakest link in the chain.
Correct. How are you going to be strong physically for your family? Correct. And so I would say on that, you need to be fit. So for sure. Not maybe, for sure.
I need to also point out that because all of our, like I said earlier, I think all of our opinions are going to be pretty much the same, but they are different in some points. I think that Salo, he comes from a military background, so like I get when he says the push-ups and sit-ups. You know, he's going to be a little bit harder in his opinion, which I like. I respect that. I think that's awesome. I agree. in some points. Like me personally, I suck at pull-ups. I can still do them. I can do like maybe 5.
Yeah.
And but what do you think, Jose? What's yours? Because I know Jose has got like a background in law enforcement, so his opinion could also be similar and different.
Yeah. Well, just my thing is like going back to the man thing. To me, it's just someone who obviously provides for his family, takes care of business. If they're for any reason in a financial bind, like the man's gonna find a way to work something out. If his significant other decides, hey, I don't want to work anymore, I want to stay at home, do whatever at the house, I feel like as a man, you need to be like, I need to step up and figure a way out. Because if that's what she wants to do, then you need to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
But also, I'm kind of also on the thing where, I don't know, like, I know there's controversy on it, but if I'm working and my significant other's working and I get home, like, I'm going to help with everything in the house. She's not going to be the one that's always doing the laundry, doing the dishes, cooking the food. If we're both working, we both need to be doing it together.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think like if you're both pulling weight and you're both making money, then you better be ready to fold some laundry and she better be ready to clean the dish, and then vice versa. Like you should clean dishes and she should be folding laundry. It shouldn't be just if you both work. Now, if not, man, then I do agree that if she's chilling at home, and this is gonna put me under the gun, and that's fine. But if the significant other is just chilling at home and works from home and has a lot more free time, there's no reason why, in my opinion, all right, guys, hate me if you want to, my opinion, you should be coming home to a meal. You should come home to a meal in a clean house or something. Now, if they're a stay-at-home mom, there are kids involved, I feel like there's a little leeway for that. Because, dude, raising a kid is not easy. I'm a new father, new at this, right? These guys already been there, done that. And so my thing is, like, I used to think that way. But now that we've had a kid, I do think that's a full-time job. That really is, man. You know. And I have a daughter, too. So, like, I'm new to that. I'm a guy. I was fully planning, hoping to have a son. And I God humbled me with a daughter, and I'm very blessed to have that.
Amen.
And so in that, I've taken in my consideration, as a man, I've stepped up and I help my wife out around the house. I cook dinner and all of that. My wife also works too, so that goes back to your thing. But back when she wasn't working, I tried my best, and I'm not saying I was perfect. I'm sure she'd say there's times where I could have done more, But also at the same time, we were both new to it. But now I think we do pretty well on switching out. Like last night, she worked all day. I didn't see her. She didn't come until 8. And so, you know what I did? I went out and I cleaned up the house, and then today I cleaned up the house a little bit, and if she worked again, I'm off. So I don't get the luxury of sitting back and not doing nothing. That's not, you don't get that luxury. You want to be a male figure, do that. That's what you want to be. You don't get that luxury. You may think it's feminine to do laundry or it's feminine to be cleaning and stuff, man. But she's making the bread at the time, and I'm off. What's my excuse to sit back and not do something? There ain't one. Oh, man, I worked yesterday. You worked yesterday, not today. You slept in. Get up. Come on. So, I made the bottles and all that, and my wife came home tired, and I tried my best to, make it easier on her. It doesn't always go that way, but at the same time, like I said, to be a man, step up. Sometimes you got to step up in the house roles, too, Not just, you don't have to just be a hard ass at just your job. You got to be a hard ass as a father, and a hard ass as a husband, And I don't say hard ass like go home and yell at your family. I mean like hard ass, carry that shit. You see your wife needs a break, step up. You see your kid needs some education, step up. Don't be scared to be an authority and to be a present person. There's not enough present male figures either. You got a lot of guys that are sitting back, letting their kids do whatever they want because they're scared. Like they're like, oh, I don't want to spank my kid. I don't want to put my, I don't want to discipline my kid, I don't want my wife to leave me because I start, wanting some back and forth. Like I said, if your significant other is going out all the time on you and stuff, and you're scared to put your foot down and say, hey, babe, look, my big thing is when me and my wife got married, she had a friend that always wanted to go out and single, and I didn't mind at first, but once we got married, she carries my last name, which means she represents me like I represent her. So if you're married to me and I'm working every weekend and you're going out every weekend with your single friend and she's looking for people, how's that look on me? You know, like I'm looking like the guys at work. I'm looking like the joke. And vice versa. You know, if my wife was working weekends and I go out with my single buddies and we're drinking beers and we're going to bars and stuff and they're looking for girls, am I being loyal back? No, I'm not. So as you know, and we talked about it, we came to an understanding. I didn't yell at her. She didn't yell at me. We sat down, we talked it out. You don't always have to be an asshole. But if you're in a relationship and you bring it up and she's an asshole to you, but you need to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, do I keep wanting to be the puppet here? She's just going to keep pulling those strings, you know? And that's something you got to look at. Yeah, no pun intended. You know, that's something you got to look at as a man. And I don't, like I said, I just don't feel like there's a lot of present male figures. I feel like there's a lot of men in homes, but they're not a lot of them strong-willed anymore. A lot of them are just timid and scared, and you know, there'll be like times have changed. And I agree, times have changed. But when your kid acts up or you're sniffing others out of line, you know, don't say something. Speak up. Take control of your home. You know, don't be just a paycheck. Don't be just a paycheck. Be better than just a paycheck. Be somebody who's going to make things happen, make things change. Make sure that everything's taken care of. Make sure things are fixed. Make sure that you're on top of your game. If you're tired, you're tired. You don't get the luxury of relaxing. As a man, you'll never get that luxury of sitting back. I hate to break it to you. From the day you were born, the weight of the world was put on your shoulders as a man. You were forever looked at as somebody who's going to have to pick up where your father left off. And that's whether you think that's a sad fact or not, that's up to you. I didn't know how I felt about it for a long time, you know, like, but now that I've grown up and I'm a man, you know, my dad's my hero. My father did his best raising me, and I think he did a hell of a good job. And so, in my opinion, if you're ashamed to pick up that rock and put it on your back and carry the world, then man, I'm sorry, that's what you were burdened with from birth. When you were born a man, you were burdened that day, and I say burdened because, man, it does suck. You know, we don't get that privilege of getting in our feelings. Now, people say it's okay and you can. Yeah. Look, if you do, fine. But, like, at the end of the day, dude, we're looked at as we're the bulletproof vests of the family. You know, we're the shields. Yeah. So, and we're also the sword, dude. You know, we have to play both sides of the ball. And with women, they're, you know, the caretaking role, and kids are looked at them and they love them and they think, Mom, I got a boo-boo, Mom kisses it. You know, she reads them a bedtime story and all that. And then, you know, they see a shield, you know. But we have to be that and the sword, you know. When something goes wrong, you know, what they say, don't make me tell your father.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, don't make me tell your dad. Don't make me call your father. You know, when I was little and I acted up, my mom said, don't make me call your dad. Probably there's nothing I feared more than my mom picking up the phone, calling my dad from his job, and then him coming home. Because, you know, when I realize this now, you know, as a father, you know, my daughter is still very young, so I haven't had this, but I've had conversations with people that have kids. And a good buddy of mine at my old job, you know, he told me, he said, you know, I got a call from my wife that my kid was acting up. And I was picking on his little brother. And he said, man, there's nothing worse. You know, I don't want to go home and be the bad guy. I don't want to go home and be that guy. You know, I want to come home and just relax and have fun and be with my family. Yeah. But you don't get that luxury sometimes, man. You don't get that luxury. Sometimes, you know, your kid acts up. And then your wife calls you and she says, hey, so-and-so did this. And guess what, man? You got to go home and be that sword and lay down, you know. I'm not saying go home beat your kids, you know. I'm not saying throw them up against the wall, beat them. No, I'm saying, man, if you got to give them a butt busting, you know, give them a butt busting. If you got to sit there and then settle, you know, my dad, I remember he spanked me, sent me to my room. He'd open that door and say, come eat dinner. After dinner, he'd come into my room and he'd sit down next to me. And he said, you got to understand that when I spank you, I do not get any amount of enjoyment out of this. There's none. But you need to learn that if you're going to keep acting up and fooling around in life, that there will always be a consequence. You don't just get to go out in life and kill somebody and not go to jail. You don't get to go out in life and steal something and not go to jail. You don't get to touch a hot stove and not get burnt.
Correct.
And I think in today's time, as men in this world, we forget there's consequences. It's almost like there isn't any. And for having an opinion, that itself is damnation now. Yeah. You got to stick with whatever is popular. And what's popular is men sitting back, biting their tongues, and let the house run how it wants to run.
For sure.
I disagree with that totally. I think we got to step up, dude. We got to step up. This is ridiculous.
I think there's a like nowadays, there's a thing where, you know, there's a transition when a boy turns into a man.
Correct.
And it's got to a point to where there's 50-year-old men, 50-year-old boys that never turned into a man because they never had the struggle or opportunity to actually become that man. You know, there's moms or whoever just and dads supplying their children to just keep that person as a boy, as a kid.
So I like that. Excuse me. So I like that, and I'll touch on that because I like what you did there. You know, when I hear about people saying, "Oh yeah, my kid's not gonna work," you know, I'm gonna pay for them, and then when they go to college, I'm gonna pay for them. Man, that's where you're messing up. Okay, because trauma and hardships make a man. Your kids going through this is what will make them who they are. And you know, when I was little, if some things happened, you know, sometimes my dad just looked at me and said, "Suck it up." And I'm glad he did, because if I didn't go through some hardships and some trauma and some bullshit, I'd still be a kid. You know, my dad made me get a job. My dad, you know, he made me pay for my college.
Yeah. As it should
it's not even that it's not like he made me. I don't even like that term.
Yeah.
You know, he allowed me the opportunity
Gave you the option,
to grow up, to be a man. I could have easily been a bum, a druggie, an asshole, piece of shit, another nobody. You know, but he gave me the opportunity to be something better than that. You know, he gave me the tools that I needed, you know, to get my job. To, you know, he did help me pay for my car, but the deal was I had to pay half. So when I was little, I saved up every day, and I was able to pay for half of my first vehicle. That to me was a milestone. You know, that was awesome. You know, a lot of kids, man, y'all don't gotta pay for shit anymore. You don't. Mommy and daddy, they just hand you their car. Nope, it's not okay. It's not. You need that. You need to be able to, like my dad told me when I got my license, get a job, paying for your own gas. You know, you're paying for your own food, and you know, if I needed help, he was there. It wasn't like he just cut me off and really kicked me out. No, I was still living at home. He's still, you know, if he cooked dinner, I was still allowed to eat that dinner. You know, hell though, you know, it just, you know, more on you. You know what I mean? Hell, there's just opportunities. You know, he gave me opportunities to grow up, and he didn't burden me with that. He gave me opportunities, and when me and an ex broke up, I had to move back in with him. We've all been there, you know. I'm not ashamed to say I moved back in with my parents. I did. I had to move back in with them. He laid it out for me, man. He said, "You're going to pay at least one bill in this house. If you're going to live here, you're going to pay at least one bill." And that's the tax, man. You know why? Because if I wanted to go anywhere else, if I wanted to live in a rent house, I'm going to have to pay rent. If I wanted to live in an apartment, I got to pay rent. I got a home now, I pay a mortgage. I hate it. God knows I hate it. But hey, the dude he taught me how to build my credit. You know, able to get a house. I bought a house at 22 years old. How many of y'all doing that right now? There's people right now that are 50, like he said, that y'all still in your mom and dad's basement, you know, and you're probably watching this video right now.
Yeah.
Saying, "I don't need that." All right, that's fine. Stay in your lane then, because everybody else gonna be passing you up while you're cruising right there, thinking, "Hey, I don't got to worry about that." And you know what also pisses me off is what's up?
What? Oh, man.
Sorry, I guess I'm just going off. My bad.
So that was a lot to unpack, and so I'm going to bring it back to what a man is, because we kind of just went on a tailspin, bro. No, you're good. You're good.
You know, I just hate what society's done with the word man. It's just so toxic now. I hate that.
I get it, but one thing at a time. So just to bring it back.
Yeah, let's bring it back.
Well, what I would define as a man, you guys can agree, and then we can talk on this,
that's fair,
and then go from there.
My bad.
Would be it's not one-dimensional as far as being a man. It's multifaceted, if you will. And so, but I think one of the prerequisites to be a man would be to be born a male with the right parts, if y'all know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, you grow into a boy, a baby boy, then a young boy, and then an adult, and then somewhere in the process, you learn from your role models, most likely, or maybe not so much now, your dad. You know, he's the father figure. He's the man of the house.
Or stepdads. No hate on stepdads either. Some stepdads step up. You know.
Potato.
Yeah.
And so, but I know that nowadays that's not the case. life happens, people split up, and so with that being said, that's not, or at least for me, that's not an excuse, because you can go to uncle, you can go to grandpa, you can, right now you can go to on YouTube, and there's a lot of role models. I'm not saying you should pick one and stick to everything they say, just because I don't believe that. There's a lot that can be learned from many, so it's not a all in one type deal. And so again, to be a man, one, you got to be born biological male. And growing up, you got to learn how to do stuff. You got to be resourceful. If you can't change the oil in your truck, I mean,
change a tire.
Are you really a man?
Yeah.
If you can't change a tire, if you can't work on your house, right? So that's another area.
Can I say something real quick on that?
Well, no, just let me finish. And so then you got to be able to provide. And so what that means is, you got to be able to make decent money, at least enough to support yourself and your family. So I'm not saying you need to be a millionaire, but you should want to strive for that, because you should want to be content with what you have. You should always want to improve upon what you already have. You should be fit. We talked about that a little bit. And so I think anybody who grows up from a young boy to a man, they need to be fit. It's unacceptable to be obese. It's just completely unacceptable. You mentioned me being in the Marines. In the Marines, what we did a lot was pull-ups, sit-ups, and we ran miles. I haven't ran in I don't know how long, but I guarantee you, I'm willing to bet money that I'm able to run a mile or 2 or 3 or 5 if I needed to. I can do that. That's for sure. And so fitness, money, being useful, you got to be a leader. You got to know stuff. You can't go around acting like you're the man, and then you get asked something, you're like, oh, I don't really know. That's not how it works. You need to be a leader for others.
And if you don't know, you need to learn it.
Exactly. And if you don't know where to go, YouTube,
humble
Google,
yourself and learn it.
Correct. Or go to somebody who does know and learn, and then take that to whoever it is that you need to teach. And then I think another big part of being a man is to be able to command respect amongst other men. Because to be honest with you, I think it's a man thing, it's a guy thing. You meet somebody for the first time and you kind of fill them out, like, hey, is this guy real or not? And so if you're not able to command that respect from others, are you really a man? I would say no. And so to summarize all this, you need to do all those things and continue improving. It's not I got fit once and then that's it, now I'm a man. No, you need to continue to improve. You need to hit the gym every day. You need to grind every day.
Monday and Friday is good.
You got to
hustle.
Friday's good. No, man. Well, anyways, you got to hustle. You got to continue to keep on growing. You can't be stagnant. Complacency kills, and so you don't want that. And so just real quick, because y'all mentioned about providing yourselves and your significant other, I think I'm gonna go a little bit nuclear on this. You lit the fuse.
All right, that's fine. Hey man, that's fine. That's fine.
And so I'm just gonna let it go.
We're
here
for that,
I agree, but disagree. I think it should be temporary. You shouldn't want to be working and have your spouse, your significant other, work for 20 years and then retire. I think it should be temporary. Like, hey, things aren't going the way we want right now. Let's figure it out in 5 years. I want to take you, I want you to do your own thing, where if you don't want to work, you don't have to. It's an option, as opposed to, no, you have to. If not, babe, we gotta, move or whatever, And so, and I'm real big on that. And if it's not temporary, we go back to, are you a man? Because in my eyes, and again, I'm different than you guys. I see that differently. You should be able to provide. And if you're not a provider, well, if you're both providers, then I suppose your significant other is a man too? How does that work? and those are my thoughts. What are your comments on that?
Hold on, real quick.
Go ahead.
All right.
Let's get into it.
I see where you're coming from.
Okay.
But also, if my significant other brings it to my attention, that's something they want to do, I'm not going to stop them from doing that.
Correct.
Because in my house, my wife,
and that's why I said optional. If it's an option.
Yeah.
And
So-
if she wants to do that, then she can do that for sure.
So then, in no form or fashion is she a man. This is just her wanting to do that.
Correct.
So-
Okay. Well, then to clarify, well, not to clarify because I did say that. If it's an option, give that option to her.
Yeah.
But if it's not an option, then that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
and you're
no, yeah,
both
if they
providing.
have to do it,
Then
yeah.
and providing is you being a
So
man, then I guess is she a man?
I got triggered for a minute. I didn't like the way you
Well,
went, so
hey,
it was.
hey.
But no, okay, that
That's
makes
what we're
sense.
here.
It's it wouldn't. I agree with that. I've always agreed with that. My mom never had to work, right? And then
Correct.
then some hard times
Correct.
came, and she worked a little bit, and she doesn't
Correct.
work anymore. My dad said, "Hey, you can quit. You're done." You know what I
Right.
mean? Hard times are over, and she don't work anymore. She's a stay-at-home mom. She raised me and my brother forever, you know. And then my grandpa, his wife, he never worked. He never made her work. She had a job behind his back. He found out, made her quit. You know, and times are changing now. Women are looking for
Definitely.
that empowerment role. There's nothing wrong
Definitely.
with that. You know, I have nothing against a woman wanting to better herself.
I
I'll
think
get
that's
into
another
that. I'll
topic,
get
bro.
into
I
that
think
a different
that's another
time. I'll get
topic.
into that exactly.
So
That's okay.
let's-
No, I'll get into that another time.
All
But
right.
also, I want to touch on another thing you said about men being able to change an oil, change a
Yeah,
tire,
for sure.
fix things around your house. You are gonna look at what he said right there and look right past all that.
Yep.
Be like, that doesn't make a man. Well, let me make it
Yep.
very clear. Those are simple things a man should be able to do. That's bottom of the list here.
Talk about bare minimum.
Yeah, like you know,
Yeah.
that's you not even going to the gym. That's not you.
Yep.
That's not you providing for your family. That's not you could be a bum. You mean you
Yeah.
could be a big piece of shit, but knowing a little bit of that makes you at least a piece. I mean, very
Correct.
fractionable, but a piece of being a man.
Correct.
So if you're sitting there right now and you're watching this, you say, I can't do any of that, and you're sitting in your mom and dad's basement, and
Correct.
you're bumming off these people, or you're
Yeah.
sitting at home and you're the broke boyfriend of the broke husband,
Yep.
and she's the one doing it all.
Yeah. And just real quick on that, basically exactly what he said. You could be fit but be a bum. That does not make you a man. You can make a lot of money but still be a nerd and not go to the gym, be overweight. That does not make you a man. It's multifaceted. You gotta, if we look at it at buckets, you gotta have all of them filled, and you gotta fill them constantly because they're leaking at the bottom.
Oh yeah. Oh
Because
yeah.
if you stop making money, then you become broke. If you stop going to the gym, then you become overweight or out of shape.
victim weight.
But unless you're under 200, which per you and per tank, it's victim weight. Unless you're under 200, but still fit, making money, commanding respect, all these things you add up.
Still gonna look at you and be like,
Being
man,
a
I can still
provider,
make him
being a
victim,
protector,
bro.
you know how to handle yourself.
No, you're right.
Hand-to-hand
You do
combat, you know how to
handle yourself.
shoot a gun or two.
Okay, yeah. See, that's another
I
thing
mean-
too. Like, you need to be able to defend your household too. Like,
Multifaceted.
I don't even care if you don't know how to shoot a gun, man. You better know how to use a knife then. Know some type of, even if our fighting style of training some type
You'll be able
of.
to defend yourself.
Yeah, in any form, whether it's using a gun, whether it's using a knife, whether it's
I would-
using a stick.
I would say at a bare minimum, using your hands.
Oh yeah, for sure. But last time we talked about this, and I talked about how important boxing is, and I just got told that.
And we're not going to get into it
again.
again.
Anyway,
Because we don't want to
Tank, is there
disrespect your
anything you
legacy.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there
What you got,
anything you want
Tank?
to touch on? Because we just
You got big dog.
really took that over.
There's just a lot to talk about, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big topic.
Y'all want us to do a
we
part
could-
2 on this?
We could cover this for
Probably.
hours.
I think we should do a
You
part
know.
2 on this. I really do. I mean, I feel like Tank we didn't get you an option a lot of time to talk.
I
mean,
wonder
so-
why.
Dude, this subject, it weighs on me. It does.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
see it.
understand.
I see it, and it really hurts to see. Like I said, the word man has been turned into such a toxic word, dude. And it sucks
Yeah.
to see that, because I remember, man, you look back, I mean, you
Yeah.
look at MMA, you look at, like, I
Yeah.
remember little wrestling, man. I looked at, like, Hulk Hogan,
Yeah, for sure.
Ultimate Warrior, Sting, those guys, they were
Yeah.
men,
Yeah.
but, and all this stuff, and you just look like, and today you got MMA, you got boxing, and Mike Tyson, all these people, and you look at them, and it was so cool. But now, man, like, it
Yeah.
just kind of seems that if you're a man, the first thing you get thrown on, if you make any opinion, man,
Yeah.
that's toxic masculinity. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Yes, but that's
Shut
a
up, dude,
that's a
'cause
different
you-
topic. So let's reel it
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Tank, go ahead. What you got, brother?
No, I mean, there's a lot to talk about, man. Like I said, we could talk about this forever, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And I mean, I don't even know where to go from here, honestly.
I'm sorry, I set this too far. I apologize. Like I said, this subject, I really could talk about.
So
browsers.
let's
I feel like there's
agree on
mistakes,
certain
man.
things, though. being a man, just real quick. One word. How would you describe a man?
One word?
Sure. If we can all agree that the bare minimum prerequisite of being a man is being born a biological male. Can we all agree on that?
Oh yeah, I agree that way.
All right, so if we all agree on that, what would be a word to describe a man in your own little world? Or
I got like
one word.
I'm gonna use 3. So I think as a man you'd have these 3: strong, patient, and determined. Your kid's gonna piss you off when you're trying to teach them shit. You know, you gotta have patience there. You can't just rage out on your kid just because they didn't grab the spoon right. As a man, you gotta have a little bit of that patience. I'm not saying a lot of it, okay? But I'm also not saying roid rage out, because somebody's trying to do that on me when I mention the word patience.
I don't know,
Tank, what you got?
For my one word, if I was just to pick one word, I would just, father comes to mind first and foremost.
Damn, that was a better one. I like yours.
Because if anything, as long as I'm a good or great father, anything else is going to come second to me. So, I mean, as long as I'm doing what I need to do as a father.
Change my answer. I like his better. I'm going to go with that too. I think father. Yeah, if you can sell that, then you're being a man. Because there's nothing more manly than raising a kid the right way.
Right. So I think one word to describe a man would be discipline.
I knew that was coming.
Did you though?
Yeah, I did.
Did you though?
You know why I knew it was coming?
Why?
Because guess what's next week is? Your week. And guess what we're talking about next week? Discipline.
If y'all know Salo and follow him on his social media,
he mentions discipline
all the time.
Almost every other video.
All day, every day.
Every post.
Even on the weekends.
There we go.
No, man. Well, just to hit on that, and I know next week is my week, but just I think, and I was thinking about this last night. I was like, man, like I need to bring this up, like just one word to describe a man. And there was words were strong. I thought, okay, but you can be strong and not fit. You know, you can't be strong and not be able to sprint. You can be strong and not be able to change a tire. You know, and stuff like that. And so it took me a while, but I finally, I circled back to I'm always preaching discipline. And that's what a man is. Being disciplined in your finances and in your fitness and being resourcefulness, being knowledgeable. You gotta do all those things, being a God-fearing man. All that.
I agree. Also, you said what else would make a man? I think God-fearing.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that needs to be in there. I don't know how these guys feel. I personally believe in my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Give him all the praise in the world. He's only going to give you the battles he knows that you can win, and if at any point you feel like it's too much, suck it up because that fight ain't over. But I'm going to be done with that. I think we've taken up a lot of time.
Yeah, because I want to expand on that, but I'm not.
I think we've taken up a lot of time, and I want to go ahead and say that comment below if you want a part 2. I think we'll do a part 2.
I think we should.
And next week, Salo has the stage, so we'll touch on his, but if it gets brought back to me, I can make the part 2 on my end. I don't care. Or Tank or whatever,
Yeah.
And I want to thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for all the support episode 1 got.
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
Thank you for all the comments, the views, the likes.
Yep.
Continue liking, continue commenting.
Subscribe.
Ring the bell and subscribe.
Please comment as well.
And please, ask us questions or tell us something you didn't like that we said or tell us something you did like or fact check us, whatever you feel like, man. The whole point of this is to make people better. And even us, we can be humble.
I have a fact check for you. I don't know who it was. I can't remember, but somebody was saying you weren't 6'3", bro. If you can imagine that.
Yeah, see.
I don't know who it was.
That's ridiculous.
I would have to go back and check.
That's ridiculous.
Did you see that comment?
I did see that.
I think that's crazy, guys. I'm 6'3", 260. All right. Can you take me in a street fight?
Who knows?
But anyway, again, thank you guys. Appreciate all the love and support we can get. And like I said, just like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment.
Yes.
Check us out on Instagram.
Yes.
And give us a follow or not.
No, do.
Give
us a follow.
Just
be direct. Tell them.
Some of us don't need
go.
Instagram to make us support. I'm more worried about our YouTube. Okay. Like our stuff on YouTube. You don't gotta like our Instagrams. I don't give a shit about that.
I'm using that platform to grow our YouTube, bro. Come on, man.
Go check out our Instagram then, our Nfitmosos one. You like that one?
Yes.
Go to that one.
Follow that one.
Yes. You don't gotta follow us. We're just some
No,
bums.
you do.
We're just some bums, man. And
I'm not a bum.
Okay, I'm kidding. All right.
I'm not a bum.
I'm demanding it. Follow us.
There we go. Amen. Let's go.
But anyway, yet again, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I think we've done it long enough. You can follow us on Instagram at
Nfitmosos.
Nfitmosos. Yeah, that's all of us. And then personal, you got Nike Garcia _2, and then you got
Mendoza Games.
Tanks Life OT.
Oh, you remembered.
I did.
Anyway, guys, thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.